1600 AM, 99.7 FM, WIDU1600.com. We are WIDU Fayetteville. We do radio. Follow us on Facebook at WIDU 1600 AM.
This edition of your local news and weather is brought to you by Fayetteville PWC.
NCN News, I'm Mike Rayleigh. President Donald Trump kicked off America's 250 celebration last night and framed the Iran war as a victory.
Last week we signed a historic agreement to end the conflict with Iran, fully open the Strait of Hormuz, and accomplish what no president has ever been able to accomplish before. Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. That's done.
Powerful earthquakes had struck Venezuela in quick succession last evening as communities across the South American country sustained damage. Acting President Delcy Rodriguez warned the death toll was expected to rise. It's now at 164. The Trump administration on Wednesday reached a multi-state settlement with chemical giant Chemours Company over years-long illegal discharges of synthetic forever chemicals used to make products resistant to water, grease, and stains. North Carolina Attorney General Jeff Jackson.
The most that we would hope for is $2 million a year over the next 15 years, which, when you compare that to the scope of the damage, the scope of the water pollution, is basically nothing.
North Carolina beach towns would be able to keep using room occupancy tax dollars for seasonal ocean rescue and lifeguards under new legislation meant to clarify how the money can be spent. Carolina Beach Mayor Lynn Barbie.
The thought of not having them or having their capacity diminished was a big concern for us because it is a driver of the tourism economy.
After 6 months of community collaboration following Helene, the city of Asheville has unveiled a unified design concept for the French Broad River Park projects, shaped by feedback from thousands of residents. Dustin Clemens is Asheville Division Manager and tells WLOS.
A lot of really good feedback from the community, and we've taken that back and incorporated into what we're calling a unified design for all of the riverfront parks along the French Broad.
You're listening to NCN News.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. City and county leaders have met over the last few days to talk about the potential consolidation of city and county 911 operations. Following productive conversations, the city hopes to bring other municipalities, along with Fort Bragg, into the discussion to continue the dialogue and work toward the best outcome for all residents while keeping public safety the top priority. With that, join them for the City Council special meeting that is today at 9:30 a.m. in the council chambers at City Hall. That agenda will focus on E911 PSAP. The city of Fayetteville extends its deepest appreciation to Colonel K. Chad Mixon for his service, partnership, and unwavering dedication to the community during his time as the Fort Bragg Garrison Commander. During Monday's City Council meeting, Mayor Colvin presented Colonel Mixon with the key to the city in recognition of his outstanding contributions. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
With high pressure in place for our Thursday, we'll stay mostly dry today. Just a brief shower or storm is possible. But temperatures will get hotter into our Friday and Saturday, and we'll see better chances for scattered showers and some storms. We're mostly clear this morning with temperatures starting in the mid-60s. We're then mostly sunny by this afternoon. Highs will reach the low 90s. We're mostly clear overnight with temperatures dropping to around 70. Hotter with scattered storms Friday. I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the NCN Weather Center.
This edition of your local news and weather is brought to you by Fayetteville PWC.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
It's time again for your conference, CCFM Conference 2026, Wednesday, June 24th through Saturday, June 27th at the Florence Center, Florence, South Carolina. We will welcome Apostle Joshua Giles, Pastor T. Renee Glenn, Dr. Darius Daniels, Pastor John F. Hanna, Bishop Melvin Lambert, Bishop Bobby Hilton, and our psalmists, Pastor Smokey Norfolk, Pastor Wendy Wyatt, Pastor Naomi Rain, Pastor Lillian Lloyd. Yes, this is your conference, CCFM Conference 2026 at the Florence Center. Admission is free, but registration has major advantages. For more information, go to ccfmnation.org, ccfmnation.org. You don't want to miss the King's Summit CCFM Conference 2026, June 24th through the 27th. Come hungry for God's presence.
Hey, good morning to you on this Thursday. Well, it's not too bad out there now. But, we've been having those showers. I don't know how much the rain we have accumulated that has moved the drought. I don't know. Little lake thing behind me there, I see that the lake level is a little higher. But anyway, we're thankful, amen, that we're here, and thank you for you today. Join us later on today. We're going to have Chairman of the Board of Commissioners, Kirk Devier, is going to be in to talk about this 911 situation, which is, man, it's kind of interesting, This has been going on for decades, though, really. It has. I can remember going all the way back because I was working for the sheriff at that time, Artis Jones. We can go all the way back to Artis Jones and Ron Hansen, who was the police chief at that time, when we first had 911 in the 1980s. So that's where we are, but we'll be discussing that. But before I get to that, because I want to talk about something else now. Now, guys, look. So this is my challenge here. A friend of mine calls it selective outrage. I believe that's DL uses that terminology. But look, we can get upset in a minute about somebody getting killed, okay? But I just find this interesting. Juneteenth, which is a holiday, basically, if you want to call it a holiday, an African-American holiday, it is technically an African-American holiday. Chicago, you have 39 people shot and at least 6 people dead. It may be more than that. But where's the outrage? I mean, I'm just asking. Where's the outrage? I haven't heard any of our so-called leaders calling out anybody concerning all that. Y'all, we just got to do a better job. I'm with you, but we got to do a better job. Come on. Is that okay? I mean, because it's like when some things happen, it's like we just lose our minds. So now, Black lives should matter. I don't care who's taking the life. Am I wrong for feeling like that? Because we're talking about 39 incidents of people getting shot and 6 people getting killed in Chicago? Ain't nobody saying nothing about it. I don't know, man. I'm telling you. But look, if there had been one black person killed by somebody else, the whole country would be in uproar. You see this stuff on social media, you see it on the news, blah, 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 da, da, da. But now I don't know those individuals, and I guess we can find out who those individuals are, but 6 people killed? Anybody saying nothing? They ain't saying nothing. And 39 people shot. Selective outrage. I'm just telling you, you know? And somebody's going to be upset about me even discussing this, but, you know, you just get upset. I'm just saying at some point, don't we need to hold people accountable for doing wrong when it comes to people losing their lives? I mean, these are not small crimes. These are murders. I don't know who's charged in this, if they have anybody charged. I don't know. But that's bad. 39 people shot and at least 6 people murdered. I saw one thing that said 8, one said 7, one said 6. I'm taking the conservative number. All I can say is it's not good. And I don't know who's going to call people out concerning this, particularly with the stuff in Chicago. And you're going to get upset when someone says, hey, look, we need to do something about this, and there needs to be some type of federal response. Well, somebody need to do something, for real, because obviously the wheels are off the bus up there. The wheels are off the bus. Whatever. Back to this thing, though, about 911 call center. And I wrote a column about that. Should be in next week's Wednesday edition of Up and Coming. I have a different perspective than some folk because I'm old enough to remember when we didn't have 911. Some of you all out there might be over 70 like me that remember that. So, you know, we didn't have 911. Then we had the sheriff's office and we had the PD. And at that time, the sheriff's office was being run by Otis Jones was the sheriff. And the police department was being, chief at that time was Ron Hansen. Now, we needed 911 because at that time you would see law enforcement vehicles driving around. Sheriff cars had 323-1500. And there was some number on the police cars for the police cars. So now we've been kicking this can down the road for a minute. And I'm just saying something needs to happen. But again now, what I'm asking you not to do, don't try to make this into something racial, because it's not. When there were all white people involved, we didn't solve the problem. And more recently, when you had an African-American chairman of the Board of Commissioners and an African-American mayor, it didn't get solved. And we just keep kicking the can down the road. Okay, I got where you're coming from. The real issue is about, well, who's going to do this? So now some people say, oh, we were blindsided. Well, you know, perhaps you need to be blindsided concerning this. We said, Butcher, why are you saying that? Because it's been in your windshield all this time and you haven't done anything. Shouldn't we be doing something? So this thing is, Tom McGinnis, our state Senate now, our state senator, he represents, we have 2 state senators, Val Applewhite, Tom McGinnis. Tom McGinnis represents part of Moore County and also Cumberland County. And look, there's a bill up there to kind of like force us to do something about it. And some city officials are saying, oh, we're caught flat-footed. We didn't know anything. Well, look, we've been talking about it for decades. Why should it be a surprise that somebody has finally said we're going to do something about it? So, check this. The point is, they say, well, who's going to be the lead agency in this? Is it going to be run by the city or is it going to be run by the county? Someone said, and I hear this often, yeah, but when we look around the state and we look at all these other metros, Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte, Mac, and Greensboro, and all those other places, it's run by those cities. Let me ask you a question. Do you really think that we can honestly compare ourselves to those communities? Number one, none of those communities are tier 1 communities, poor like we are. So, I just find it amazing how we want to compare ourselves to other folks. So they're just like, I'm driving Hoopty and I'm comparing it to a Ferrari. Saying, hey, look, this Ferrari is doing such and such, so I can take Hoopty and do the same thing. No, it don't work like that. It doesn't work that way. I think we need to solve our problems, yes. And there needs to be a sensible way that we move forward with this. However, comparing ourselves to some of these other communities, I'm not in favor of that, because if we do, well, look, let's compare ourselves to them in other ways too. They have, some of those communities that have at-large members on their city council. We don't have any. And I had somebody sitting in front of me the other day go, oh, well, we look around and we see these other communities, we see what they're doing. Well, I find it interesting that we cherry pick what we are choosing to compare ourselves to these other communities. We cherry pick. So you want to cherry pick this. It's my understanding that the conversations concerning the 911 center went along this way. So I said, well, what we'll do is the person that's in charge of the city the county's in agreement to allow them to run the countywide system as well. Sounds favorable to me. And now the conversation is about, but what about Fort Bragg and what about the State Highway Patrol? First of all, okay, now perhaps you don't pay attention to it, but my law enforcement background, I notice stuff some other folks don't notice. When you call, if you're on the interstate or anywhere, if you want the State Highway Patrol to respond to something for you, they have their own system. They ask you to dial star HP. Have you seen that? Not 911. They're asking you to dial star HP. That's how you get a response from the State Highway Patrol. And if you're on Fort Bragg and you have an accident, and a couple years ago I was involved in an accident on 295 on the reservation, the 911 call, the civilian, military, contractor, police, they showed up for that accident. It was not the federal police, it was Fort Bragg. So maybe, I don't know. Another issue, they say, well, but what about call volume? Because we have 30% more calls that are 911 in the city of Fayetteville versus the calls that go to the county. Perhaps, but are they all calls that are legitimate emergencies? Let me tell you what happened to me. So a couple years ago, when the Walmart was still running down the street on Merchant Road, one evening, it was wintertime, so it was after dark, but I was standing in line and I was paying for whatever I was buying, and I had on another pair of slacks. I had this running suit on, and normally I always do the left side, but these pants had one pocket on the right side. And so I'm trying to put it in, through habit. I'm going for the left side, and I dropped my wallet. Guy behind me saw me drop my wallet, and he picked it up. But as soon as I got out to my vehicle in the parking lot, I said, man, I dropped my wallet. I turned around and went straight back into the store, and I said, ma'am, I dropped my wallet. I mean, well, sir, we haven't anybody turn anything in. I said, you got any cameras here? And the lady now that's in charge, man, you would thought like she was headed to whatever. She was just taking her time. She was dragging her feet. And I'm like, look, I need my wallet back. So I get on the phone and I call the bank that my card is with, and they tell me, say, well, Mr. Williams, someone is using your card right now down the street from you. Down the street there at the Food Mart on the corner of Murchison and Jasper. I said, what? I mean, so this guy had picked up my wallet and went straight down there. I mean, within like 7 minutes, he's using my card. And so the police are coming, but I'm like, hey, look, I got to deal with this. So I tell the lady, I said, look, bank just told me that the person who took my wallet is right down the street and they're using my card right now. Tell the police I'm going down there. And they said, he might still be there. I said, I hope he is. Gee whiz. I hope he is still there. I go there, but he's gone. He had bought some beer and some food, and he got my wallet and it's gone. But see, here's the real problem for me in this whole situation was because I had a scan card in my wallet, and I can't get in and out of my office without that scan card. So I had not only credit and debit cards in my wallet, but also had this scan card. And I'm like, man, I mean, it's a tough situation. So I go back and I talk to police, and the uniform officers responded well. I thought they was on the job. They came down, and I said, well, look, the guy had a camera inside of the store, the Food Mart down here on Jasper Street, on the corner of Jasper Street. And so I got early on Saturday morning. I'm like, look, I'm in front of him. I said, look, man, I need my wallet back. Guy pulls up the video, whole 9 yards. I'm looking at the guy using my card, whole 9 yards. And so I'm trying to call. I get a copy of the thing, and I'm taking it downtown to the police station myself because they moving too slow. I get down there, and I find out on this Saturday, and I don't know whether they still do that or not, but the police department is closed. I'm like, I never dealt with a police department that's closed before. The police department is closed. And so what do I do then? I said, well, look, what do I do? And they said, well, what you do is, if you want to update us throughout this process, call 911. So now I updated them throughout the weekend because I found out who the guy was, about where he lived, the whole 9 yards. But every time I made an update, because I wanted the update to go to my file so I could get my stuff back. So I'm having to play Dick Tracy myself, which is okay. You know what I mean? Because I won. I got my stuff back. But I made about maybe 5-6 calls downtown 911. I did. Just to update my stuff. They were non-emergency calls. So the point I'm making is this right here. The 911 call volume may be higher but in the city, but why is it higher? Are you getting legitimate emergency calls, or are people having to do like Brother Troy was doing on this occasion? I was calling, but the only way I could connect with the police department was through 911. There was not a non-emergency number there for me. Now, I don't know what they're doing now today. I'm just telling you what happened a couple years ago. So I got to factor that in. If you're saying that you have a higher volume of 911 calls, if you're doing the same thing now that you did then, look, of course you're going to have more 911 calls. Why wouldn't you? Because people are using 911 for non-emergency calls. I'm just saying. I want them to figure it out. Because you know what? As a citizen, I don't think you're sitting there wondering, well, gee, who's handling this? Is the city in charge of this, or the county in charge of this, or whoever's in charge of this? Well, if you have an emergency, you just want somebody to respond to whether it is police, fire, or EMS. That's what you want. Look, we're going to take a break, come back, expecting a few minutes to be in front of us, Chairman Deviere. He's going to be able to share even more information about this. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back for more. 1600 AM, 99.7, your station for inspiration and information, WIDU. We'll be back.
If you have been injured in a motor vehicle collision, you should understand that the insurance company is not on your side. It is the adjuster's job to get by with paying you as little as possible. Call personal injury trial lawyer Brent Adams now for a free no-obligation consultation. Call now, 910-888-8888. Don't hesitate. Call 8. At Brent Adams & Associates, we make things right.
If you need a lawyer or you've been involved in an accident resulting in serious injury, call the Rogers Firm at 910-433-0833. We have a proven track record for getting results for persons injured due to the negligence of others. What you don't know can hurt you, and you need a firm who cares about you. So call the Rogers Firm at 910-433-0833. That's Attorney Alan Rogers and the Rogers Firm, a proud member and sponsor of Wake Up.
North Carolina lawmakers advanced a revised involuntary commitment reform bill on Tuesday aimed at keeping criminally involved people from cycling between jails, courts, and hospitals while keeping the public safe. Venezuela has experienced 2 major earthquakes. At least 164 people have been found dead. North Carolina Republican House lawmakers voted to override 4 of Democratic Governor Josh Stein's vetoes on Wednesday, including provisions on immigration, diversity, equity, and inclusion. War powers reversal after GOP senators were berated by President Donald Trump. After 6 months of community collaboration following Helene, City of Asheville has unveiled a unified design concept for the French Broad Riverfront Parks project. A record 2.3 million North Carolinians are projected to travel 50 miles or more for the 4th of July. Mike Trayley, NCN News.
Good Thursday morning. We start your day with mostly clear skies and temperatures in the mid-60s. By this afternoon, we'll see lots of sunshine and highs will reach the low 90s. We're then mostly clear overnight into our Friday morning. Temperatures will be a bit more mild, only dropping to around 70 degrees. We'll be even hotter on Friday with highs reaching into the mid to upper 90s. Then some scattered showers and storms are possible later in the day. More storms possible Saturday. I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the NCN Weather Center.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. City and county leaders have met over the last few days to talk about the potential consolidation of city and county 911 operations. Following productive conversations, the city hopes to bring other municipalities, along with Fort Bragg, into the discussion to continue the dialogue and work toward the best outcome for all residents while keeping public safety the top priority. With that, join them for the City Council special meeting that is today at 9:30 a.m. in the council chambers at City Hall. That agenda will focus on E911 PSAP. The city of Fayetteville extends its deepest appreciation to Colonel K. Chad Mixon for his service, partnership, and unwavering dedication to the community during his time as the Fort Bragg Garrison Commander. During Monday's City Council meeting, Mayor Colvin presented Colonel Mixon with the key to the city in recognition of his outstanding contributions. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
Good Thursday morning. We start your day with mostly clear skies and temperatures in the mid-60s. By this afternoon, we'll see lots of sunshine and highs will reach the low 90s. We're then mostly clear overnight into our Friday morning. Temperatures will be a bit more mild, only dropping to around 70 degrees. We'll be even hotter on Friday with highs reaching to the mid to upper 90s. Then some scattered showers and storms are possible later in the day. More storms possible Saturday. I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the NCN Weather Center.
It's time again for your conference, CCFM Conference 2026, Wednesday, June 24th through Saturday, June 27th at the Florence Center, Florence, South Carolina. We will welcome Apostle Joshua Giles, Pastor T. Renee Glenn, Dr. Darius Daniels, Pastor John F. Hanna, Bishop Melvin Lambert, Bishop Bobby Hilton, and our psalmists, Pastor Smokey Norfolk, Pastor Wendy Wyatt, Pastor Naomi Rain, Pastor Lillian Lloyd. Yes, this is your conference, CCFM Conference 2026 at the Florence Center. Admission is free, but registration has major advantages. For more information, go to ccfmnation.org, ccfmnation.org. You don't want to miss the King's Summit CCFM Conference 2026, June 24th through the 27th. Come hungry for God's presence.
Angelic Flourish Creations, 442 Hillsborough Street, Fayetteville, is family-owned and operated, proudly serving the Fayetteville area. Whatever the occasion, Angelic Flourish Creations can create a floral arrangement or gift for any occasion or holiday. Angelic Flourish Creations has prompt, friendly, and caring service. If you want to say you care, you can always say it with flowers from Angelic Flourish Creations, 442 Hillsborough Street, Fayetteville. Call 910-485-2205.
Rafa Ministries Family Center welcomes your children ages 9 to 14 to our inaugural Summer Choir Kids Camp this summer. Wednesdays in July from 1 to 3 p.m. right here at WIDU with a performance showcase featured in our Family Summit Saturday, August 8th. They get to practice stage presence, rhythm and memory, vocal technique, and to build their confidence through gospel melody inspiration. For more information, text Program Director Stephanie White at 843-209-6848. Again, for more information, text 843-209-6848. We'd love to see your kids this summer.
Are you facing an important life transition? Whether you're selling a property, settling an estate, navigating probate, planning for your family's future, or protecting what matters most, Fusion Real Estate, Insurance, and Probate is your trusted local resource. We offer a concierge-level approach designed to simplify complex decisions. From real estate buying and selling, guidance on probate and inherited estates, life and health insurance solutions, our professional team provides the expertise and personalized attention you deserve, all under one roof. We're Garlinda Price and Caleb Price, your favorite mom and son duo, proudly serving families throughout Fayetteville and the surrounding counties. Don't wait until a challenge becomes a crisis. Call today to schedule your confidential consultation and discover how our full-service approach can save you time, reduce stress, and help you make informed decisions for your future. Call us at 910-494-7798 or visit us at Bronco Midtown, 1047 Murchison Road, Suite 104, Fayetteville, North Carolina, 28301.
And we're back now. 33 minutes after the hour here. 27 minutes for the top of the hour going the other way. Expecting Chairman Devier to be in a minute. Again, having this discussion about this 911 call centers. And I just want hopefully he can be in to share and add some perspective as to what's going on. You know, what some people are calling a rush process. They're saying that it's been 222 days out, which doesn't sound too rushed to me. So, I mean, they've been that 222 days they've been into it. And again, another one of these situations in our community where we have just, you know, things going on. Sometimes it's like, you know, I guess we can just find a way to have chaos. And what we need to be trying to do is avoid the chaos, but we have chaos. So there are some facts out there that I think that need to be made clear regarding that. Also, you know, on 7 occasions, the county has, what they've done, they've taken and they have used, the city has sent their stuff over for whatever reason. They were having some issues. The county's filled in for them at least 7 times anyway. And at least 3 times, the city system has filled in for the county. So, you know, what's all of the hoopla about? What's all the hoopla about? Like I said, again, hopefully we won't try to put some type of racial bend on this, because it doesn't have anything to do with race. But I think that forcing people to the table to rectify something that should have been solved quite some time ago, I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. I don't have a problem with that. I think it should have happened decades ago, and we just didn't get it done. And now here we are, we're getting it done. And I think that we have a board of commissioners now that's a little different from some previous boards that we've had, and they're trying to get stuff done. And there are some things that need to happen in this community that they have the ability to do, and they're getting it done. So I applaud that effort, and I hope that you do as well. But, you know, we want you to be able to hear things out and to hear the same things. And some people, now look, if you're just now becoming familiar with this, then you're way behind the 8 ball, way behind. And some people just found out some things about this a day or so ago, and now this, oh, gee, you got to know all the facts. Really? You just became introduced to it a few days ago. There's some of us that have been following this for years, decades. And now here we are, finally, hopefully, at a point where is that this is one thing we can take off the checklist for Cumberland County. We can get off this and we can move on. Anyway, so 36 minutes for the top of the hour here. But again, while I'm waiting for Senator Divier, if you all want to call in, please give me a call. 910-483-6111. I take your calls at this time. Anybody wants to call in, you can call in regarding this matter. Or if you have questions, perhaps I can, based on what I've been exposed to, that I believe are facts, I can try and answer some questions as well. But again, the number to call is 483-6111. The topic is consolidation of the 911 emergency call center. So what I'm told is that the volume of calls coming in is not really the indicator as to what's happening here. The issue is how many calls are people responding to, and that's that. So I look forward to that. So look, let's try to handle that. So that's where my head is, and I'm going to ask you. We're going to deal with that. Okay. Multitasking here. But anyway, again, the number to call is 483-6111. Now, Cumberland County is one of the few communities statewide that doesn't have a consolidated system. And, I think that's reflective of, again, our inability to get something done when we have and should have been on top of it all along. So I'm going to share a little bit more of this information that I have here with you while I'm waiting. So The county's 911 center already dispatches for the unincorporated areas and all 8 municipalities. So actually a consolidation would not change their service. The only 2 operations that merge are the city and the county's Fort Bragg. Fort Bragg runs its own dispatch through its integrated incident management center. Like I was telling you before, I had an accident, 911 call, and Fort Bragg responded. I was on 295. And so you got about 30,000 military families living off post. And but the partnership is decades old. Fort Bragg Fire joined the County Fire Association in 1993 and signed the county's countywide automatic aid agreement. So that's been established for quite some time. Their units carry county radios and frequencies and respond when dispatched, including in the Fayetteville, Spring Lake, Manchester. Consolidation does not change any of that. So that's where, and so, but that's where we are with that. And I'm just saying, you know, all this stuff is it's on it, man. It's on it. I just got a text also from Chairman Devier. He's on the way. He's on his way here now, and so. But we need to work this out in an amicable way. From what I'm told, additionally, this should save us about $2 million. Good thing there. Yeah, it's about money too, and so I mean, then what I understand is that, you know, it's not the integration of these services. It's not where anybody's going to lose any money. If one group is making more money than another group, then the proposal is to bring the pay up to where everybody else is getting paid. So that's the plus. So let me see. I'm answering a thing right here, if you want. So, but that's where we are with that. So, you know, it's going to be critical and important for us to have the best services that we have in our community. Now, understand something. Is 911, the whole 911 thing, is like, I know people that have called recently. Okay, yeah. Senator, Mr. Chairman, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I do well. I know you're on your way, but anyway, though, this whole situation yesterday, you know, I think people perhaps got a misunderstanding as to what's going on, and we're trying to respond to that to give people the best information as to where we are and how we got where we are.
Yeah, I mean, Troy, the first thing I'll just say is, you know, 222 days. 222 days that these two boards have, well, it's actually been longer than that, but in December of last year, we met as a joint group, city and the county, presented, you know, a course of action to consolidate with an admin lead. The county was unanimous on it. The city was split 4-4. We walked in that meeting asking for a few things, a survey to happen, the managers to talk, and a commitment from the city to reconvene after they sat a new council and come back together, and we'd meet in the new year. I sent a follow-up letter in December, later that month, to say, asking for a meeting on January 20th, providing the survey information to make sure their council members had the survey of users that the county had done, that they requested. That meeting didn't happen. And quite frankly, there was no board action, and the only dialogue around was between managers on how we got closer, you know, or on some points. And actually, the county's position moved closer to the city manager's operational framework. And then in May, I sent another letter to say, we just haven't heard from you, basically, and we need a decision because we need to plan. We need to look at how we're integrating our mental health. We need to look at how we're doing these things in our 911 centers. We've got some work to do there. Are we going to be consolidated or not? And that was it, a simple request.
So,
didn't hear anything until June 19th, and we actually didn't meet until June 23rd. And people can say, oh, well, the senator got involved, but it brought people back to the table. So 222 days of no action when the county has been at the table, continuing to make concessions and compromises to move to find common ground. But yet, no RFIs, no questions around, and as far as municipalities, look, all the municipalities are already dispatched by the county.
Okay.
So, and all the mayors have confirmed to me that that they support a county-run system. They're in it now. It's no change to them. So this thing of we got to consult the municipalities. The mayors have been consulted. And somebody wants to throw out, oh, well, what about the boards? Well, I don't. When I speak to a mayor, I respect that they're speaking from their position, as their board. Just like I respect that when the mayor speaks or when I speak for my board. So, I just think this is the way that we're trying to move goalposts and create a situation that wasn't there. But if we were concerned about the municipalities, why didn't we ask that question last November? Or why didn't we ask that in January as a follow-up to say, hey, can we get a resolution from all the boards? But yet you're asking that at the ninth hour. It's a delaying tactic. All the mayors have said they are supportive, from the small municipalities to the larger ones. They're in our system now. And then this last point about Fort Bragg, and we've got to consult with Fort Bragg. Fort Bragg has their own integrated system. The discussions that I had with the DPS and the deputy DPS has been around how we look at backup systems and how do we look to work together so that they could be, our current backup location is not adequate, and we're going to have to fix that moving forward. This is the other reason why we need a decision. Because if we move forward with the city and we're going to we potentially will build a new center, then we have a backup solution at Executive Place. But the conversations with Fort Bragg are around, having that backup system, potentially looking at